Chelsea Supporters Trust have been voicing their concern at Todd Boehly with the American mocked up as a clown in a sticker campaign. They've warned the club of irreversible toxicity in an open letter to the Blues owners. Right, Scott, straight to it. The Chelsea owners right to be annoyed?
Look, I think to mock Todd Boehly up as a clown, I think is wrong. It is absolutely wrong. But I do understand the frustration of Chelsea fans, and I've said this sort of several times where, for 20 years, 19 years, Roman Abramovich came in, spent a lot of money, brought in ready-made world-class players with a ready-made world-class manager, and they fell out the top four. That manager would go and someone else would come in. Yep. It was all about the here and now, nothing about the future. Now it's almost all about the future and not really about the here and now. So in a way, I feel for the owners that they've come in with this philosophy and trying to be clever with the 7-8 year contracts to beat PSR and bringing in young talent and thinking about the future, but they've not thought about the here and now. And it's almost, I don't know if it's the right idea, but it's a good idea at the wrong club.
Yeah.
I don't agree with Simon in terms of that they were sort of just moments away from extinction, because I think there would have been other people coming in. Yeah. But they have spent the money, the owners. It's just they've spent it in the wrong way, and they've spent it in a different philosophy. There is a clear plan. I'm just not sure the plan is a good one. Now, they're buying for the future, and we can always say, well, just give them time, give them time, give them time. We can speak from a playing point of view, Daz. What I would say is if you're creating a culture, and this is to the fans and to the group, if you're creating a culture where people are turning up to the games angry before the game's even started, that doesn't create the right atmosphere for the players to go out and play, and they need help. Supporters need to support, and the majority of them do. Are they within their rights to boo at half-time and boo at the end of the game? 100%. But during the game, try and give your absolute best, because these are players. It's not that they're not trying. It's just that they're not able to grasp the weight of wearing the Chelsea shirt right now. And, the days of winning the Premier League and the Champions League seem a long, long way at the moment.
They sit in 11th in the Premier League. That's not good enough. We know that. They're in a transition. Again, we know that. He's changed the business model in terms of he doesn't just sack managers left, right and centre. He spent an awful lot of money. They could reach their second cup final this season. Of course, they've got to get through the powerhouse of Manchester City.
I hope they do it. But
are they overreacting a little bit? The fans?
I don't think they're overreacting in terms of what they're seeing, because it isn't good enough. 11th isn't good enough. They could finish 7th. They could. And they could win the FA Cup final. Well, they could. It's a big word,
Yeah,
if,
could. Yeah.
And could. Let's wait and see how it goes to the end of the season. The bottom line is, I think, to again, like we talked about United, to keep on sacking managers, I don't think will help at all.
No.
I do think Pochettino is a very, very good coach. Is he one to rival Pep? I'm not so sure. Is he one to take Chelsea to the next level? I think he is. And he needs help. And I don't believe that he's had, even since he's been at the club, any real say in terms of recruitment. I think he would have had a year. We'll see where they are. He would have actually got his feet under the table properly and said, look, we need to get rid of these players. PSR would be an absolute problem as well, because we know they just about scraped through last time out. But this year, unless they sell a lot of players, then they're going to be in trouble. The rules will be changed, and we'll have to wait and see what happens there. So it's not as simple as, right, let's go out and buy some more and get rid of, certain players, because we know that they'll be desperate to do that. Yeah. And teams will just offer almost next to nothing. Yeah. They're not in a good place right now. But Pochettino, he'll be disappointed. I thought they'd be higher. I thought they'd be sort of a Europa League place, possibly chasing a Champions League place. They're not.
Yep.
He needs to be given more time, though. And the fans doing this just doesn't help at all. We all know what the problem is at the moment with Chelsea.
You were there, Stamford Bridge, against Leicester in the quarterfinal FA Cup. They ended up winning. Raheem Sterling, by all accounts, was booed off the pitch. Was the atmosphere turning then?
Well, absolutely. Raheem Sterling missed a 1-on-1. He missed a penalty where he shouldn't really have taken it in the first place. Should have been given to Cole Palmer. Remember that penalty he scored against Manchester City at Stamford Bridge? Yeah. And he handled all the pressure against... 4-4.
Yeah.
Again, in the last minute, against his former team, with everyone watching, and he was able to handle it. And Raheem Sterling, as good a player as he is, and it seems ridiculous to say because I'd hate to have marked him, but he's never really struck the ball really well as a professional footballer. So I wouldn't have him on free kicks or penalties. And then he wanted to take a free kick as well, just on the edge of the box. And I'm thinking, there's no way he's going to take this. Cole Palmer is. I mean, to say he skies it high and wide is just an understatement. So he should have been taken off, but you almost you can't go with the fans in that way.
Yeah.
The fans are kind of booing him, but still, Pochettino can't be led by the fans. So Mudryk got taken off. He didn't deserve it really, but then Sterling got taken off soon after. And I thought it was a really class act from him where he actually clapped the fans and not in a sarcastic way.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the booers got booed themselves and they realised actually, no, we need to support this kid and also the team. And to be fair to Pochettino, the 2 subs that came on made the difference and they went through to the next round.
Look, I think they should back the manager. I do. I think you should learn off Arsenal. You should trust the process. Things are going to be happening. They're in a transition. They can't just sack manager within a transition. They spent an awful lot of money. Give him another season. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. That's my opinion. He's a good manager.
It's a
Pochettino.
slightly different situation to Arsenal, just because of where Chelsea have been and the philosophy they've had over the past 2 decades. But generally speaking, you're not going to get success going from manager to manager 2 or 3 a season.
Agree. I'm with you. I think they should back the manager.